and welcome to this week's vlog. I'm in London. I'm with Ada.
Oh, hi.
We've been to Forbidden Planet today. We've been to Foyles. I've only bought 2 books, which is good. So the rule is that Ada's told me to do, which I agree with. I only buy a book if it's special edition, so it's got sprayed edges, or it's signed, which is what I did in, I'm about to say Foyles. Forbidden Planet. Here's a clip. I actually did have both these books on my wish list, so I'm kind of glad I got them. There was a couple more where I was umming and ahhing, so we're going back there probably, well, obviously. So I will just pick them up if I want to, but this isn't a visit for books, although it's me, so there will be books. I will try and vlog some more, but let's see how that goes. But yeah, one day in, 2 books down. Hello, it's Monday evening. I got 3 books today, which is quite good for me. Off from a charity shop as well. Well, one charity shop. So I got My Name is Anna by Lizzie Barber. The Swimming Pool by Louise Candlish. And The Camelot Code by Sam Christer. Only one out of the 3 is on my actual to be bought list, which doesn't sound good, but out of the 5 books I've bought, 60% are on my to be bought list, so that is good. I attempted to vlog, but I was very intimidated to do it in public, so there wasn't much, but hopefully I've shown something. But yeah, it's going good so far. We're just chilling before the concert. Do not expect any clips of the concert because I'm not getting... Actually, you know what? If you can't hear my singing, I might put a clip in. But yeah, that's Monday's update. Hello, it's Thursday. As you can see, I am back home. I am unpacking the suitcase. So London was London. It was fun. Didn't buy as many books as I thought I would, but that is good because obviously my plan this year is to read more than I buy, which is always good. Obviously I didn't read while in London because the books I bought weren't on my TBR. I was good, but obviously I have a bit of catching up to do to read the 8 books, I want to say. Yes, 8 books for May. I forgot the month then for a minute. So my aim for today and tomorrow, in amongst doing other things, is to read 2 books. So because I want to read 2 books, I've picked the 2 shortest ones on my TBR, I believe are the 2 shortest ones. So first one being Legends and Letters by Travis Baldry. This one is 306 pages. And then the other one is The Wonder by Emma Donoghue, and this one is 291. So basically 600 pages in 2 days. Doable if I don't have distractions. So I am doing other stuff that I'm not just dedicating 2 days to just reading 2 books. So yeah, not quite sure which one I will pick up first. Oh, hit myself in the head then with the books. I am thinking going with Legends and Letters just because that is one I've heard hit and miss reviews about. And Emma Donoghue, her other work, I have just flown through it, what I have read in the past. And it seems to be like a mystery / thriller, so I do tend to read those a bit quicker. So yeah, probably leave this until tomorrow. So Legends and Letters. It is Dungeons and Dragons inspired is what I've heard, and reading the synopsis, definitely get that. Yeah, some people have said they love it, some people have said they've hated it. I'm going in with no expectations. There is a sequel out later this year. I have not pre-ordered it. Will I pre-order it? Obviously depends if I like this book or not. But with me playing D&D, obviously would like to read a book inspired by it. This was Ada's copy. She was getting rid of it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's give it a try. So yeah, it's very nice naked. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to stop waffling, go do what I need to do, and then start this today and update you with where I get to. Hopefully try and find some sprints as well to help me read the reading and other jobs I have. 5:30 Friday. I've just finished Legends and Lattes. 4 stars. I love this cozy little read. I love the characters, I love the story, I love the development of these characters. I'm going to be honest, the reason it doesn't get 5 stars is because I wanted more action. As much as I loved it being a cozy read, I wanted more action, and while I get whilst my characters didn't want there to be action, I felt for them maybe there should have been a little bit more, but no, I'm not the writer. And the other reason it didn't get the 5 stars is because I don't like the romance, or what seems to be the romance. I would have much preferred that to be just a really strong friendship, something that they they can both rely on each other without it needing to be romantic. And there's not a lot of romance, but for me, I was just like, nah, I'd rather you didn't. I get why you would, but I'd rather you didn't. But yeah, 4 stars. Definitely going to buy in the sequel. As Ada gifted, as I got this from Ada, I am going to message to see where she got this cover from, because I know it's very different from the hardback in the UK. If it is from a subscription box, I may just ask her if she can like keep an eye out for the sequel, and I'll just send. She orders it, I send her the money, and then I've got matching books. If it's not, or she's not sure if they will do the sequel, I may have to buy the hardback in the UK cover and then the hardback for the second cover, and so I've got matching covers. I'm not null and bothered about matching covers, but this cover is completely different to this cover, and I just wouldn't want there to be a mismatch. So yeah, I did finish it a bit later than I thought I would. So my hope to start and finish Thorns Day, probably not going to happen. But let's see how far I get into it. Tomorrow I have things to do. I have things to do, so I'm not sure how much reading I'll get done. And it is Eurovision final tomorrow night, which means from 8 o'clock I will be drinking rosé, eating lots of sugar and crap, and talking ridiculous about European countries and pretending I know everything about music. I adore Eurovision. So yeah, it is one of my bucket goals to go to Eurovision. I was very tempted this year, me and a couple of friends talking about it, and then we saw ticket prices. I'm like, no, and the tickets sold out. I'm like, no. But that is one goal, to go to a Eurovision in person. Anyway, going away from the Eurovision tangent. So The Wonder. This is 291 pages, so I would assume I could read at least 50% tonight. I've read The Room by Anna Donoghue, read it quite quickly. For me at the time it was 2 days, but now if I had a full day for it, I could probably read it in a day. Yeah, this is about a English nurse who goes to an Irish village due to an 11-year-old who is said to have eaten nothing for months but appears to be thriving miraculously. I think it's based on a tale, because I've heard of this tale, people not eating and still surviving and things. So yeah, it's a psychological thriller about the lengths we go to for the love of a child. So I'm quite looking forward to it. It's not big writing, it's not small writing. It's a thriller. Thrillers I do tend to, if written well, fly through. So I am looking forward to starting this tonight. Yeah, one thing I do have to do tomorrow actually is film my April wrap up. and upload to Insta because I've still not done that. So yeah, fun. I'm gonna go start the wonder and I will update you when I finished. There's no point saying I'll update you tonight because I didn't do that yesterday. So yeah, I'll update you when I finished. 10 o'clock Friday. I'm 22% of the way through the wonder. Not as far as I'd like to be, but I've just not read as much as I thought I would. It's okay. It's set us up for the main plot. We've been introduced to our main characters. We have a feel for them. It is it's more religious than I thought. One of our important characters is a sister. And our main little girl is very religious, and her whole family is. And as someone who doesn't really conform to mainstream religion, I'm kind of skipping over bits of it. Because I'm just like, yeah, I don't need to know where you got these cards from. I don't need to know about these missions. I do have a worry if this is religious heavy theme kind of carries on and becomes more heavy, I'm gonna be DNFing. But let's see. So yeah, gonna leave it for there. Hopefully I will read the rest of the pages tomorrow. It's about 230-ish left. Hopefully I can get this done before Eurovision tomorrow. But no pressure. Yeah, and hopefully it's not a DNF, but positive, not DNF in this book. Fingers crossed. 9:30 Sunday. I've only just finished the wonder. 2 stars, very nearly 1-star book. Honestly, I felt like I'd force myself today to finish this book. I did force myself to finish this book. I was bored. I know what the main plot is. I had no interest in it. It was very, very slow throughout this entire book. The fact that it was quite obvious that she didn't understand what this girl was saying because of her accent, but the writer didn't say that. Emma is Irish herself, I believe. Yeah, she was born in Dublin and lives in Canada. And you've got this nurse who's apparently trained and worked in foreign countries, so knows about different accents, couldn't understand this 11-year-old family. I get where the author was coming from with that secret, but if you're gonna drop something like that, you can't just drop it in like the last 50 pages and that's it. I just felt so frustrated. Just not the book for me. Not the book for me. I know people like it, but yeah, definitely being unhauled at the end of the year. But that is two books down this week. Like I feel like I've been saying a lot recently, not the week I wanted. And next week I've got quite a bit going on after work, so I don't know how much that reading I'll get done next week. And I still have 5 books on my TBR. It might be a 1-book week next week, not gonna lie guys. But yeah, that's my week done. I didn't end up filming my April wrap up, so I may just do I might not do it, if I'm honest. Like I said, next week after work I'm quite busy. The weekend I have Saturday, but obviously then I'll be doing other stuff. I have stuff to do on the Saturday as well. Sunday's D&D, so by the time I get around to it, it'll be the end of May. So I might do a joined April and May one. I may just not do an April one, which is I'm more likely not going to do an April wrap up. But I will update my Goodreads ratings for the books I read in April, so if you do want to read them, you will read my thoughts, you can read it on there. Or if you've watched my videos, you know my thoughts on the vlogs. Yeah. May's not normally a quite busy month for me, but this month it just seems like there's just so much going on, and it's only the first half of the month, and the second half it don't get better. But I'm gonna go to bed because I'm back at work tomorrow. Fantastic first half of the week with London, and then the second half just feels like bleh. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.